Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and we are here for qualifying from the Chicagoland Speedway and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season number 8, Race 18 of the season tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Sirius XM 400. And we are expecting a wild race here in the midsummer, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And after this race, we're only going to have 10 races left to go in the season, and this championship battle is really going to get interesting, especially considering how far of a lead Nathan Barrett has at this point. But if you know how things go, Nathan Barrett could easily lose that point lead in a couple of races. But right now we're here for uncharted qualifying. Top two make it on. And Zachary DeLillo, first driver out there on the racetrack in the number 67. We are expecting this race to be much wilder than last year's Chicagoland race. Of course, last year's Chicagoland race was dominated by Cody Sill. This year, we got it set up a little bit higher on the strength. They're going to be going a little bit faster, and it's going to be a lot like how Chicagoland used to be prior to last year's race. But it's going to be a fun one for 54 laps tomorrow night. And, of course, tonight we have the Haas IndyCar Series coming here. For Honda Indy Chicago. That's going to be a fun race, and a lot of these guys are going to be participating in that event here in just less than an hour. But either way, I'm going to see which two make it in. Of course, it's two drivers who make it in this week, unlike one last week at Road America. We will have 42 starters in this race here tonight, or should I say tomorrow night. And I'm looking forward to see who gets this one done. This is definitely going to be one of the better races of the season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I love coming here to Chicagoland. And it's just one of the wildest mile-and-a-half racetracks we go to throughout the entire season. And with the exception of last year. Last year's race was something else. That was a very non-typical Chicagoland race. This year I'm expecting a lot of how it used to be prior to that. But either way, I really want to emphasize that this year's race is going to be better than last year's. Just want guys to know that. Either way, this is going to be a special race. The last race in my teen years of my life, the Sirius XM 400 tomorrow night, because the night after, or the morning after, I should say, I turned 20 years old. So this is going to be kind of a special one. The last race that I've done as a teenager. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun one. But we're looking forward to see who gets it done here at Chicagoland, regardless of my age. It doesn't really matter too much at this point, but well, I guess it matters next year. But right now, it doesn't really matter too much. But still going to be a an interesting one, turning 20 on Saturday. That's gonna be a fun one. But either way, enough about myself. What am I doing here? The two fastest guys are Zachary DeLillo and Christian Russell. And these two guys are looking pretty fast right now. We'll have to see if Angel Oliveira gets a good time, as he is drafting off of Zachary DeLillo. And it looks like Oliveira is third fastest right now, but it's still DeLillo and Russell, the top two fastest guys here in Sirius XM 400 Uncharted qualifying. Of course, the backstretch here at Chicagoland has the unique curve to it. So the only straightaways here are in betweens the tri-oval and turns 1 and turns 4. So, definitely a very unique racetrack. Oliveira to the top of the board. He's going to push Christian Russell out. So it's now Angel Oliveira and Zachary DeLillo, the two guys who would make it onto the show as the Uncharted guys. And the Uncharted guys this season have yet to win a race. And last year we had 3 Uncharted drivers win races. This year we've yet to have any. We've only had 2 multiple-time winners in Patrick Smith, who won his second race last week at Road America, and Nathan Barrett, our points leader, who has won twice this season already. But we've had a lot of different winners, and it's going to be interesting for the All-Star race, because we might be pushing the limit for the amount of cars we can have in that thing. Of course, the maximum we can have for the All-Star race at Eldora is 30, so it'll be interesting to see if we hit over that mark, because if we do, there might not be a fan vote, or there might not be an open race. We'll just have to see how it all goes down when we get to that in July. But either way, it's looking pretty good for these guys. Of course, all these guys will be in the open, of course, if we have it. We're hoping that we have it this year. We should be able to. With Patrick Smith winning last week, and hopefully maybe someone who's already in winning this week, And a couple of the next races, we can get a good feel in there for the Chick-fil-A All-Star race. But that's going to be in less than a month here on Napa Fandom. We always enjoy the All-Star race here for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I've had it ever since the beginning, and the fan vote will be opening very shortly for these guys in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And it'll include these 8 uncharted guys as well. You can vote for these guys if you'd like to. And it's looking like Angel Oliveira and Zachary DeLello are going to be in the Chicagoland race for 2019 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. You can see the number 46, the fastest guy here in uncharted qualifying, with Zachary DeLello right behind him. And Christian Russell barely missing out on the number 62. It's a tough break for him, of course. At least this week, all these guys are getting a time in. Remember, last week we did not have that happen. We only had 2 guys clock in a lap. This week, everyone made a time, so no worries there. Angel Oliveira and Zachary DeLello in the big show for the Sirius XM 400 tomorrow night. They're going to join the other 40 full-time drivers here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series to go for the pole for race 18 of the season in Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series from Chicagoland. Don't go anywhere. Let's set the starting lineup for the 18th race of the season. And here we go to set the starting lineup for the 18th race of the season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season number 8. It's the Sirius XM 454 laps tomorrow night. And where you start might mean quite a bit in this race. We're not entirely sure how it's all going to play out. But of course, qualifying always a significant thing in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Here's Justin Roberts, a championship contender now. He's 86 points behind, but he is 5th in the championship standings. So it's not working out too bad for Roberts at this point. Of course, Nathan Baird comes into this race possibly with the largest point lead in Chick-fil-A Cup Series history, at 57 points ahead of Emily Anderson. We'll have to see what he does this week, but if he were to win this week, that would really kill the competition in this championship, and we just have to see what Nathan Baird can do. But Baird has really been the guy to beat at this point. He's been leading in the points for a few races here, and he now has a 57-point lead after finishing runner-up last weekend at Road America. The winner of this race last year, Cody Sill. There is your points leader, Nathan Baird in the number 40 machine. 2-time winner this season, almost won last week, almost won Pocono. Gotta think, too, he has 2 wins and at least 2 runner-ups this season, which is definitely contributing to how well he has done in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this year. 514 points after 17 races, so he's been doing an excellent job for King Hart Family Racing, but he still has to execute in these final 11 races of the season. And these final 11 races are some of the toughest ones throughout the season. We have Chicagoland. Next week it's Daytona. After Daytona, I believe we head to Nashville. Then we have the All-Star race, July 26th. I forget what race that is that weekend. Trying to think of what it could be, and I can't remember. But I do know we have Watkins Glen still on the schedule. Rockingham, UK, one of the more unique racetracks on the circuit. We still have ourselves Darlington, Indianapolis, Homestead is the finale, Bristol coming up as well. So, wide range of different racetracks coming up here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series schedule. Right now, the fastest driver in town is Zachary Fitzwater, and Fitzwater has recently moved himself inside the top 10 in the championship standings, and the 2 fastest guys right now, Zachary Fitzwater and Trey Bartow, are both top 10 in the points coming into this thing. Of course, Beast Racing has yet to win races this season. They were very strong last year, but they really haven't found much success in victory lane this year. But Zachary Fitzwater looking to change that, as he has the fastest time right now here in qualifying, and Nathan Baird is 5th fastest in that number 40 machine. Just unbelievable just how good he has been this season. He qualified super well at Road America, and that really contributed to his success in the championship standings. Jonathan Skimnicki has gone to the top of the world with Angel Oliveira 2nd. Try to find the number 26. It looks like the 48 of Nicholas Samadio up to the 2nd position. Brad Stover's there as well. Angel Oliveira and Christian Master. There's your fastest guy, Jonathan Skibnicki in the number 26. He's looking for his 2nd win of the season. Won Martinsville earlier, back in March. That was about 3 months ago when he won that race at the Martinsville Speedway. Mark Davidson Davidson was one of those guys who was up there in the points earlier on. He's now 62 behind. He's still up there in the points, of course. He's third place, but the way Nathan Baird's been rolling, Mark Davidson's kind of been shuffled out of line in that championship battle, but he's still in it. Got the win in the Coke 600, and right now has the pole position for the Sirius XM 400. Number 15 of Matthew Phillips is 7th. Cody Sill, the winner of this race last year, is 5th. Tristan Allen's up there. Matt Dallio, who won this race in season, Daniel McMillan, not Matt Dallio. McMillan in the 2nd position. And McMillan, if you remember last week, almost got the win at Road America, the way it all played out, but he ended up having to make another pit stop and fell out of contention to catch up to Patrick Smith for the race win. McMillan is now 2nd fastest, with Lucas Jacobson 3rd. Skivnicki, Samadio, Stover, Sill, Phillips, Allen, and Angel Olvera, the top 10. Excuse me for saying that was Matt Dallio. Dallio 16th. Of course, Matt Dallio won, I believe it was his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race win. In this race in season number 2 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Looking for him on the racetrack. There he is. No, that wasn't him. Trying to find him. I don't know where he is on the racetrack. There he is. But it's been a tough season for Matt Dallio. He's in the bottom 5 guys in the point standings. This has probably been the worst season Dallio's ever had, and it's really tough to see. He is a past champion in this series, and it hasn't really worked out too well for him. And it looks like Andrew Ross just moved himself into the 9th position. We'll check and see where Nathan Baird is here, and Baird is right now one of the slower guys. He's 25th, so not the best of runs for a points leader. Emily Anderson, however, who's right behind him in points, or not really right behind him, but 2nd in the point standings, is 37th right now. But Mark Davidson is the fastest guy in town, so it's looking like Davidson might close in on Nathan Baird in the points if they stay in their respective positions for the race tomorrow. So Mark Davidson, believe this would be at least his 2nd pole of the season if he were to get it. Davidson's been doing a really good job in qualifying, really good job in the races this season. Been a very consistent driver, but ever since Nathan Baird started coming on, he's actually kind of fallen outside. We really haven't talked about him too much, but he is still part of this championship battle for Tanker Motorsports. And Davidson's been doing a great job this season. Coming into this thing 3rd in the championship standings. So it's Davidson, McMillan, Jacobson, Skivnicki, Samadio, Brad Stover, Cody Sill, Matthew Phillips, Andrew Ross, and Tristan Allen, the top 10 in Sirius XM 400 qualifying. I expect the racing to be kind of wild tomorrow night, too. Oh, new leader! It is Diego Yepez in the number 92. He really had a good pull off of Jalarv and Alonso ahead of him there, and Jesse Turner just went to 5th in the number 77. So Turner, who won this race in season number 6, is looking pretty fast right now. And he's going to push a lot of guys outside the top 10 there. We got a bit of a scuffle there, and Davidson goes around in qualifying. Looks like everyone will avoid contact with him, but that's a tough break for the guy who is currently on the provisional outside pole. And that pushed Nathan Baird back to 28th, those two guys going up there and taking those positions away. So it looks pretty good right now for Diego Yepez, who currently holds on to the provisional pole here with 2 minutes left in qualifying. Of course, Yepez going for his 2nd win of the season. He grabbed the win at Auto Club earlier in the year. Other than that, we really haven't seen much of him in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I think he did a pretty good job at Road America last week. But we're going to see what he does starting on the pole. Of course, the pole sitter won this race last year with Cody Sill. Of course, that race is a little bit less wild than what we're going to see tomorrow night. I can guarantee you that tomorrow night's race is going to be a lot wilder than what we saw last year. So anything is possible. Anybody can win the race tomorrow, I think, from any starting position, including Diego Yepez, who's currently got the fastest time here in qualifying, 27.409. And there's last week's winner, Patrick Smith, who absolutely killed it at Road America. just dominated it throughout the entire field. And that was one of the best performances I've seen out of any driver in a while. Of course, that race was not the greatest of the races last week, and I apologize for that. But hey, you know, we always need a race like that to bring us back to earth with this series. This series has had some pretty good races as of late. Pocono was really good. Michigan was outstanding. Then Road America. But no offense to Patrick Smith. He earned that win, starting on the pole position and keeping everybody behind him. That was North State Racing's third win of the season. And I'm pretty sure I celebrated with some cheer wine earlier in the week, as I'm currently down in Virginia right now on vacation. As you guys are seeing this right now. So I'm sure I'm enjoying my time. Of course, at the time of me recording this, I'm not in Virginia. I'm right in my home in Pennsylvania. But like I said, it's going to be the last race I do as a teenager. It's going to be quite strange turning 20 on Saturday. But we're going to celebrate my last day as a teenager pretty well. For you guys, right here from Chicagoland in the Sirius XM 400. And it looks like Yepes is going to be celebrating as well. I believe he's going to grab the pole. How about the Outer Island guys of Daniel McMillan and Jesse Turner? They're going to be starting right on each other on the inside lane behind Diego Yepes. I'm curious to see who's going to get the victory here at Chicagoland. It's really anybody's race. We got a lot of veterans on that inside lane. You have McMillan, Turner, Sam Adio, and Cody Sill. All those guys have huge potential to win this race. And I actually would like to mention, you got Lucas Jacobson and Jesse Turner tied right there. So Turner might not actually start in the 5th position. It depends on where he is in the points. I'm going to have to check on that. I actually do believe Jacobson's ahead of Turner, but I'm not 100% sure, so we'll have to see. But either way, Diego Yepes in the number 92, looking for the pole position here at Chicagoland. I believe it's going to be his second pole of the season at least. I think he's won the pole already this season in that number 92 machine. But he's done an excellent job for Full Frontal Motorsports this year, grabbing them a victory and putting them on the pole here at Chicagoland. So Jacobson and Turner tied. Master and Alexander Rowe tied. Bartow and Alonso tied. Bartow has the advantage on Alonso. I know that much, and I'm pretty sure Master has it on Alexander Rowe. We'll have to check in with the other tiebreaker there. And Nathan Barrett's going to be starting deep in the field, 28th. Not the most ideal of positions for our points leader, so that's going to get interesting in the championship. But I'm going to go ahead and check right now and see who has it on Jacobson and Turner. And give you guys who really is going to start ahead of the other. Looks to me like Turner is going to start in the 4th position, and Jacobson will actually be starting 5th because Turner is ahead of Jacobson in the championship standings coming into this race. So it will be Jesse Turner starting in the 4th position. I'll break the other tie for you while I'm at it. Christian Master and Alexander Rowe, and it does appear that Alexander Rowe actually has it on Christian Master by 2 points. So Alexander Rowe will be starting in the 17th position and Christian Master in the 18th position. But Bartow, I know, is ahead of Alonso. And other than that, that is how they will line up for the Sirius XM 400 tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Napa Fan. The 18th race of the season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and my last race as a teenager here on Napa Fan. How about that? You know, I've done Enter Season 3 only as a teenager, and now it's finally going to change after this race. So, thank you guys so much for just being with me throughout all these years. It means quite a bit, and it's kind of surreal. I'm turning 20 on Saturday. That is something else. But thank you guys for making these past 5 years and making my teenage years some of the best years of my life. I really appreciate it, and thank you guys so much for being with me. And yeah, happy birthday to all you guys, too. I know your birthday sometime throughout the year, so I'm going to say happy birthday to all you guys while I'm at it. Congratulations to Diego Yepes. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 6:30 for the Sirius XM 400, and at 7 tonight, it's Honda Indy Chicago. The IndyCar Series on the high banks of Chicagoland here in just a couple of minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.